Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Brickanista Broadcast Network. And yeah, I know that some of you have been wondering, where have you been? You haven't been streaming for a while. Well, part of that is because I was at BricksCascade 2022. Let's see, what day is it? Yeah, last week. So I was there last week, and I was so in just embroiled in everything that was going on there that I haven't really had a chance to kind of regroup and just reflect on everything that has been going on. And as some of you know, that I didn't stream on Sunday because, or actually Thursday, because I wasn't, my voice wasn't there. And last night I had a chance to do a test with PT McEwen, and he says, "Yeah, your voice is fine, no problem." So that's why I'm back. I almost canceled today, but I figured, hey, I got to get back into the swing of things and make sure that everything is going okay. So anyway, welcome. And I don't have a big plan for today, but I thought what I would do is just talk about the experience about going through a con, because not everybody has gone through a con. And I thought that based on just anybody's feedback, that you can ask me questions about especially if you've never been to a con. And hello, Debo Bricks, yo, how are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, and I'm also trying out this new kind of layout, just a little different camera angle. And I'm hoping that in the next couple months, I'm going to retrofit a lot of different things. So you'll probably see the background's going to change. I'm going to spend more time creating a workspace. So then that way I have more room to do things. In fact, right before today, I've been sorting a lot. And one of the things I have to show you is I got this forever sorting brick that I got from, well, actually, I bought it from Joshua Gay, who I've met through Sortlug, but getting a chance to meet him in person was really cool. And it's so true that no matter where you are in your journey through Lego, you're always sorting all the time. So anyway, but just wanted to say thanks for encouraging me to continue to stream. I will have some special guests. Actually, here's some good news. Next week, I will be having Brighton Bricks back on the show. Some of you may remember that Brighton Bricks, Nick Bright, he has been doing a lot of different challenges for mental health awareness. And he approached me because, in fact, I'm glad you're here, Debo, because the hashtag rebrick this, he wants to run that again in the month of April. And we will be doing that with regard to raising awareness for environmental issues. So hopefully you're on board with that, Debo. I just started chatting with him about it, and he's going to be on the show next week. And we're still figuring out the time. It probably will be the same time, 1 o'clock, but it may be pushed back a little bit. We're still talking about it. So another person or group that I'm so excited to be inviting to the show is from from the con. They made this amazing Spider-Verse collaboration of the past, the present, and the future. And this is a combination of Jesse's Brick Gallery and Agents of MOC, as well as Mel Iceberg Bricks. So you all know Mel from Lego Masters, and he collaborated with Jesse and also with Troy, Agents of MOC, and they made this amazing. In fact, Debo, since you're here, you would be absolutely astounded by this, because I think each of the towers themselves was probably 3 to 4 feet tall. So yeah, it was freaking amazing, and it's kosher. Okay, good. I'm glad you're cool with that. Yeah. So I think what I was going to do today, and I have a few things to show you. And first of all, I showed you the T-shirt, and one of the things is that it's 10 years. It was their 10th celebration, and many of you know, because of COVID, the last time they had an in-person convention was 2 years ago. And last year they didn't have one because they just decided they would rather not try to do a virtual convention. They just decided we're just going to wait until 2022. And it it really exceeded all of my expectations. I've been to conferences before and I've been to BricksCascade before, but I think the biggest thing for me for this convention is that I participated in five collabs. And that's one thing that this convention encourages is more collaborations. So of the five, and I mentioned this in a previous stream, but I think one of my favorites was the Jurassic Park collab. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But I had Jurassic Park, the Dystopian Dream Bunkers, the Harborside collab, Tricky Lug, that collab, and the Micropolis. So those were five that I was participating in as collabs. And then on top of that, I brought some of my own MOCs. And I have Devo and Cornado and some other people who are big into modulars who encouraged me to bring my modular builds. And that worked out really great to have all this space to be able to set up your modulars. And as you know, I don't live in a very big place. So having that space, I was really envious. And it made me start thinking, yeah, I'm going to have to rethink a lot of things. and the other surprising thing was I won an award, which I wasn't expecting at all. I was hoping, the one category I was hoping for was our collab in microscale. So I was collaborating with P.T. McEwen as well as Zonker Harris and working on that collab together on microscale. I said, oh, okay, I'm hoping the Round Tower District is going to be recognized. And when that category was over, I just figured, okay, I didn't win anything this year. And then all of a sudden, when it came to town and train or town and country, that category, they called my name for the ship I built. And it's a rainbow ship. And I was sitting next to PT and a few people, and they said, oh, they just called your name. I said, they did? Like, what did I do? And they said, it was for the Kaleidoscope, which is a rainbow pirate ship that I had built for a Tricky Lug challenge. So another thing that was really cool is just taking the challenges that we've done for various, whether it's Tricky Lug or any other challenges. As you probably know, in fact, this is a shout out for Devo too, is that Devo's participating in the master, I think, Brickmaster 22 challenge. And I think that you are one of, I think, 78 people that are all participating, something like that. Yay, ship. Yeah. Well, here's another funny thing. In fact, I probably should show my down camera for this, is that I got 3 sets of recognition, and they were all for ships that I built. And I have you, Devo, to thank for coming up with the name for Pandas of Penzance. So here, let me pull up my down camera. So I'll show you some of the little tokens that I got. Let me just get some of this out of the way. Start with the BricksCascade. Here we go. Okay. All right. So here's the, oops, hold up. Okay, that's better. My down camera's microphone was on. So yeah, and vote for number 62 in the Brickmaster Challenge. Okay. You know, it's funny because I actually had somebody else reach out to me to vote for them. And, you know, the one thing I have a concern, and I love 9 Brick City. I really appreciate she's putting this together. But when you have a popular vote instead of a judged vote, then if you have a lot of followers, like I don't have a lot of followers, right? So I could say, yeah, go choose my number and vote for me. But if you have a lot of followers, then you know your followers are going to help you boost those numbers. So I I will look through the candidates, and I did see yours, Debo. Yours is good. Okay, so let's take a look. So here's your attendee badge. And what's cool about your attendee badge is that it has this QR code. And on the side of the QR code, it gives you a chance to scan your badge when you go into the all hands events where everybody is showing up for the opening ceremonies and the prize giveaways. And then you scan your badge before going in, and then your name gets put into the pool. And every single person going to BricksCascade walked away with something. And where did I put it? It's over here. Hold up. I got the pop-up party bus. And I'm even thinking this might be a fun thing to do on stream, but this will take a couple of streams. This has 1,024 pieces. But what was hilarious is that if you can see the angle, this box was crushed. So I went to pick this up and I asked them, I said, can I trade this in for another one? And they said, you know, you're going to open it. You know, you're going to love it. And I said, yeah, that's so true. And but what's interesting is I do have the pop-up party bus. You love that bus? Yeah, I do have the pop-up party bus in storage. So kind of like Joel, I may have to maybe sell it or trade it or something. So that one will remain sealed, and this one we will open and put on a stream sometime. I'm hoping maybe not this tonight, but maybe on a later time. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to share with you is BricksCascade also has this, which is a decade of Cascade, which is the conference model. So I'm going to put this on my down camera so you can see the conference model. And I have not opened this up yet, so I'm not even sure what is inside. I do know one thing about BricksCascade is that they don't give you the instructions. You have to download them. Oh, hey, how's it going? Aloha, Brickaroo Banzai. Good to see you. I'm just doing a recap of some of the things that I got when I was at BricksCascade. So much fun meeting all these people. But if you've never been to a con, I always recommend getting the convention model. Sometimes it's included with your registration. Sometimes you have to add on to it. And if you didn't get one, then you can only buy them at the convention. So you can see in this case, it's a big bag, a Ziploc bag of bricks. And you have these special ones for the side of the cake. And there's no instructions. That's because you have to download them from the internet. Yeah, so this was their 10th anniversary model and designed by Jeff and Connor Berquist, and 275 pieces. And they usually do a really good job with their con models. And I was mentioning to a friend of mine, it's still a bag of parts. So if you don't want to build it, you got this bag of parts for which was included in your registration. Oh, Lena Inverse is here. Hey, how's it going? You're in a meeting now, but I hoped you'll be streaming tonight. Yes. If I need content, the commission will be very cool to do on stream. Oh, yeah, that's right. So one thing that Lena has asked me to do is build a brickhead scale Benny riding on a spaceship. So I've got to talk with him more about details about, you know, the bricks and size, and maybe we start with the brickhead first and then we start moving on from there. But good to see you. And yeah, and Lena Inverse is also one of the people participating in Brickmaster 2022, which we talked about earlier. And yeah, so we were just mentioning about how earlier before you joined, Lena, that it's a popular vote. And so it's not a juried vote. And, you know, people who are really popular on the internet and whatever, you know, platform they're on, they're going to get a lot of accolades. Okay. Oh, here's another thing I should mention. You get in your kit one of these BricksCascade 2022 bricks, and you also get this recognized AFOL event. And that's something that there's not a lot of recognized AFOL events, and this is one of them. And let me catch up on the chat here. So Benny or Lego Space Person. Okay, thank you. 70 is your build. Yeah, I know. It's all these shout outs for, you know, all these people who are participating in this. And so, hello, everybody. Juried votes are biased too. That's true. That's very true. You know, I mentioned that we probably should have a juried vote, but then, you know, there it's going to be subjective on that way. But going back to this, so we have, I put just on this badge everything from Bricks Cascade. I have a lot more bricks from other conventions I've been to, but if you see people walking around the convention, you'll see them with like a string of these. And on the back, you'll see, excuse me, that they have this magnet that you can attach, as well as the Bricks Cascade 2020 here. And this one you could barely see because they did not fill it in. They needed to fill that in with some sort of paint. So they forgot to do that. But so when you go to a convention, make sure you wear a badge like this. And as I showed you earlier, I had this forever sorting brick made, and then I asked Josh to make me some more of these Brickanista ones, so I can put them either on my models or wear them on a badge. And actually, I think I like the new one better, so I can swap that out right now. So I'll be ready for Bricks Cascade coming up, or not Bricks Cascade, Bricks by the Bay. That's my next plan, is to go to the one that's you got to go? Okay, we'll see you later. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. All right. So, and then I could put forever sorting. But this is something that you see at a lot of conventions, is that people will be walking around with their name tags. Okay. Sometimes you get business cards. This is from Sausage Lug. So you probably have heard of Sausage Lug. They have a lot of people walking around with these t-shirts, and Sausage Lug, at Sausage Lug, Team Sausage Lug, if you're following them on social media. And let me put these in some sort of order. Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. I got to meet Cranky Bricks and Set to Build, and they have these cute little pins that they were giving out as well. And we also were posing for a photo for the Brick Relay. So as you know, once a month I stream with them on Twitch, and we do a Brick Relay, and they have credited me with introducing them, and they are now a couple. And they won for a Star Wars build that they did. So they won first prize for one of their Star Wars builds. So that's Cranky and Set to Build. So people will be, you know, giving you different things. I was so last minute putting all of my stuff together that I forgot to bring a lot of stickers. And I think next year I'm going to make smaller stickers too, so I could do little tokens of appreciation. Oh, I should mention, excuse me, this one is also for Set to Build. And look what I got. These little Panda Tiles. So one of my followers, Royal Bricks, he saw me at the convention, and he actually he saw me when I was driving back from Arizona. You probably remember I met with Yano and Royal Bricks over at the Bricks and Minifig store. And he told me, I have all these Panda Tiles for you. So he gave me this bag of Panda Tiles, and check this out. I didn't even know they made these. They have 1x1. Come on, camera, you can do it. They have these 1x1 round panda dots. And I was like, OMG. So he gave those to me, and that was really sweet. And he just said, yeah, I got this bag for you. And let's see, but wait, there's more. For those of you who are members of Tricky Bricks or Tricky Lug, this is a 3D printed ring that I got from Flynn DeMarco. So you are able to build on top of that, but I kind of like it plain like that. And it was funny, I sat next to Rob Ketcherside and Joel, not Joel Marbella, a different Joel, the guy who goes by See You Later. And we were chatting, and then we took a photo of the three of us, and we all picked the same color ring. It was pretty cool. And here's I was part of the Jurassic Park Club, and I ended up dressing up like a veterinary doctor. And I had seen that they were, a lot of them, wearing these name tags. And I asked, and Kai said, oh yeah, I can make you one of those name tags. Just send me a photo. And so I sent him this photo, and he made me this InGen official Jurassic Park name tag that I could wear. And then while I was there, some of you may know Bob Day. And Bob Day has these special minifigs, and Bob is the one who brings all the dinosaurs to the collab. So, okay, camera, steady, steady. It looks like Bob. Maybe if I do this, there we go. Looks like Bob. And on the back, yeah, Bob at BricksCascade.com. And let me catch up on the chat here. So you got some panda dots too? Yeah, that's awesome. I saw you on Beyond the Brick segment. Oh, cool. Yeah, I know. I was so nervous. I mean, it was funny because I watched it and I said, oh, I shouldn't have, you know, I right away was like, hi, it's me, I'm Naomi. And instead of waiting for him to come to, you know, bring the microphone to me. But that's okay. I was nervous. And that was my first interview on Beyond the Brick. And it was fun because there were so many of us as builders. There were 14 builders that were part of that. And not all of us could be there. And it was fun. And yeah, to be a part of that. And there were 450 dinosaurs. And I think it was 500 base plates. And each one of us brought something different. Mine was a 64 stud by 32 deep veterinary services building. And some of you remember when I was building that. Oops, what is it, girl? My dog apparently just heard something. What is it? What is it? You want to say hello? Oh, I see. You hear a dog outside. I hear it now. Yeah, so I got interviewed on Beyond the Brick, and I put a little post on Instagram, and the link is in my bio on Linktree. So if you want to take a look at that, in fact, I'll just go ahead and put that Linktree. Oops, I can spell. So you could check that out. And yeah, so my first interview with Beyond the Brick. Okay, so what's next? Let's see, we have, okay, I already talked about the forever sorting brick. Okay, now I guess I can talk about my little Mementos of Appreciation. This came from Jen Smart from Lego Masters Season 2. I got a chance to meet with her and chat with her. And she saw my Spice Pirates MOC, and it was in Castle Pirates area. And she said it was hilarious. She loved it. And she left a little token of appreciation there. So thank you, Jen, for that. This one is probably one of the funniest tokens of appreciation I got. This is from Brick Rodeo from Chris, who is big into pirates as well. And this is a chicken crossing the road. And this was for my Pandas of Penzance MOC that I had there. And you should have seen, there were so many pirate builds and castle builds that my little ship was maybe this big compared to, that big for all the others. But I still, somebody recognized it, and he said his wife loves pandas and he loves pirates. So he said, I had to give you something. So that was really cool. And then this is the honorable mention award that I got. And this, let me see if I can put my hand behind it so you can see it a little bit better. This was for the Rainbow Pirate ship that I built, and I put it in a different category. That's why I didn't think I won anything, because they had already gone through Castle Pirates. And I put this in Town and Country because they had a Harborside collab. So when they called my name, I was like, oh my gosh, I got an award for a ship I built. So it was honorable mention, and it was a really pleasant surprise. But the best thing about cons is you go for the people. You don't go for, all the accolades. Though there were a lot of people who put in a lot of work. And I think what I probably could do, let me see if I could do this in the background, is I'm going to hide this down camera. Hold on. And if you notice, I have some sniffles, is that I got some con crud after this show, but it is not COVID. So I can tell you that I can smell, I have no fever, I just have a runny nose and a little bit of a cough. But I think what I'll do is I have, yeah, let me show you this Instagram screen for a moment. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I've missed streaming and trying to get back into the swing of things. Oh, Yano's here. Hey, thank you so much, Yano. In fact, it was great catching up with Yano because I was telling her how big the pirate ships were and massive castles and everything, that I moved my rainbow ship over to Harborside. So I kind of attribute that move to also being part of the win. And she brought her ships over as well. So, oh, Felicia Ash, how was my day today or just in general? As I mentioned, I'm just, I've got the sniffles and I have a little bit of a cough, but I don't have COVID. So I'm just, it's con crud. You know, after you go to a convention, you end up getting that kind of thing. You're new, but you seem great. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, welcome to the stream. And if you like this content, anybody here, go ahead and like and thumbs up and subscribe. It's free. But yeah, so yeah, it seems like the little tricky lug gang is here as well. In fact, if you have a chance, go back and watch the stream that was today by Tricky Bricks, because Yano was there. It was great to see you as one of the guests there, Yano. And we had a chance to chat a lot, and Yano did an amazing job on the lighting, which actually, here, let me go see if I can share my screen here for a moment, because let's see, show screen. Here we go. I'm gonna go look at, wow, it looks like I have, usually I use Microsoft. I am definitely out of my element here. You can tell because I have an Instagram link open. It's not coming up. Why is it not showing up? Wow. Well, I don't want to share that. Hold up. Let me go back, because it should be here in, yeah, I have. All right, let's try this again. Let us try this again. Because it usually, I can share my screen and it's asking for Microsoft Edge tabs. No, I want to share my Instagram. Okay, I'm having some issues here. This is why I don't like Microsoft. I used, and this is weird because I used Google. Okay, I think I might have one way to solve this. Let me see if I can. So technical difficulties, please stand by. Oh, I see what I did. I started this StreamYard in apparently, okay, I know how to fix this. Okay, I know how to fix this now. Hold up. Anyway, talks amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Yeah, what I was noticing within StreamYard. So for those of you who want to know the backstory, is that StreamYard ties its display to whatever browser that you're using. So I thought I was using Chrome, but instead it looks like I started this with Microsoft Edge, which is really unusual. It shows you that I'm still kind of recovering. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this will work. It's still thinking. It's thinking right now. But yeah, so let me catch up on the chat while we're doing this. So A Q&A, a bit random, but I've been stuck on a train for 6 hours and all bathrooms are closed. Oh no. Oh no, I'm so sorry. What's the worst you've ever had to pee? Wow, that is a random question. Oh my gosh. Probably similar transportation wise. Is I remember I was on a plane in New York at LaGuardia Airport, and we had been on the tarmac, I think, for already an hour and a half or 2 hours. And then, in LaGuardia, there's usually 30 planes waiting to take off. So it took like almost 2.5, 3 hours for a plane to get off the ground. And that's when they opened up the restroom. So yeah, that's probably mine. You're going to sub and like for sure. Oh, thank you. Hot tip. Oh, Felicia asked, do the windows open? Just a tiny bit. Okay, now this is a first. This is a first where we're getting advice on, but if we keep talking about this, Felicia, that's just going to make you more, nervous. So you may want to, think about something else. So let's distract you with thinking about something else here. What? Okay, now it's not letting me log in. Okay. All right. Well, I don't think I have I have these photos on my phone, but my phone is in the other room. So just look at my Instagram account and you can see some of the things that I've done. So Instagram, let me just go ahead and do this. Yeah, I almost didn't stream today because, like I said, I'm a little under the weather, but I also kind of feel like the show must go on. If you've ever been in theater, it's like if you don't have an understudy and you're not feeling well, then it's kind of like, okay, you got to suck it up. You got to do it. You got to get out there. But in fact, if Debo, Yano, or anybody else wants to jump in, I can send you the link if you want, if you're interested. Let me know. But yeah, so sorry about that. Okay, so let me continue. So this little trophy I got for this rainbow pirate ship, and I started reflecting that when you go to a convention, there's only so much time you can spend in different categories. So you usually end up hanging out, excuse me, in one section or two. There's just not a whole lot of time for you to spend with every single mock that you've brought to the convention. I brought 14, so which is insane. I put them all on my Instagram account, so you can take a look there. But one thing I noticed last time when I was at BricksCascade, I spent a lot of my time in pirates because I was building a ship while I was at the show. And the theme coordinator said, yeah, why don't you build here? And then people can ask you questions while you're building. So I thought, okay, I'd spend some time over there. But it turns out there's so many large displays over there that most of the attention was going to be on other people's mocks anyway. So I decided that I was going to spend more of my time at the Jurassic Park, and which was fun because I got to dress up. I got my official badge, and I was hanging out with my lab coat and my little bucket hat. And I had ironed on those patches the night before. So I had received the patches from a friend of mine who's part of the collab, who got me into the collab. And they said, okay, so if you're going to build the vet services building, you've got to wear the lab coat. And let me catch up on chat here. Is the train in motion? Can you move between cars? Oh no, you guys are still talking about that. Oh, sure, you want to be on? Okay, awesome. Let me see if I can mail you this invite, because that would be great. Because then I can have you talk about the show too. while we're chatting. Okay, let me log in here and send you the link. And this will be great because I do think Yano has a really great perspective on the show, and I can ask her some questions too. And like I said, this is kind of impromptu, but I'm glad that you are interested in joining. That'd be awesome. And you could help me out because, like I said, I'm working through recovery. It's been a week now since I've been on at that show, and I'm definitely feeling better. The first couple days, I was really hurting, but I'm much better now. All right, let's get back to our show, shall we? I'm all right, let's get back here. All right, there you are. All right, I think I sent you the link. So if you are interested, go ahead and feel free to come into the back studio. Excuse me. You have to try to get out to next year's BricksCascade. Yes. And I think, let's see, you're in Florida? Is that right? Because most of the really good conventions, honestly, are in the West. BricksCascade, Bricks by the Bay, BrickCon, BrickCan in Vancouver. It's like the West Coast has this amazing set of conventions. Brick World is coming up, and that actually would be a pretty good good show to go to. That one's probably the largest, because my understanding is I think they have 2,000, maybe 1,000 attendees. We had about 500 attendees at ours. So it's a big convention as far as BricksCascade, but not the largest. And I think too, because I was mentioning about actual recognized convention, that some of the other ones that you see out there, I don't think they're technically recognized by Lego, that there are other people that are involved with that. Okay, good. Yano got it. And okay, good. She's in the studio. Yeah, help me welcome Yano River Blue. Hey. Also known as Femme from the Block. How are you?
Good. Yeah, like I said on Tricky Brick Stream, I finally am like set up to stream in my new space.
Oh, good. Wonderful. Well, in fact, if you don't mind, I need to take care of my nose off stage.
Yeah, sure.
So if you can take over for a little bit, I'm going to give you full screen and I'm going to mute myself and I'll be right back.
No problem.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yeah, excited to be here. I think most people here know who I am. Sorry, I'm still figuring out my window situation. I hope you can still see and hear me. Yeah, I'm a new resident of Portland, Oregon, so it was really exciting to have my first in-person con be in my home city. And I was saying in the Tricky Brick stream this morning, it was a little overwhelming for me. I'm not a big fan of big crowds, but it was amazing just to get to see people and interact with people face to face.
Well, it was great meeting you again in person, because I was, before you joined, I mentioned how Grant, AKA Royal Bricks, when we met at Bricks and Minifigs, he said, I have all these Panda Tiles for you. So he saved all of them and he brought them to me, which was really sweet. Now, one of the things that Yano did that I wanted to just mention is that she did a lot for the Tricky Lug collab. So when we were talking, and if you go back to the Tricky Brick show, they'll show you some of the photos because it was just amazing. And the thing that I loved that I didn't find out about until afterwards is the lighting that you added to the city, which was so important because Flynn and Richard, they know about lighting. So their little module was lit up. Right. But the rest of the street, we hadn't really talked about lighting.
Yeah.
So it was nice that, you put that in there. So why don't you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm looking around if I have it, but it was literally just like a little strand of twinkle lights on a battery pack. And I was saying, Joel, see you later, and Rob Ketcherside, the three of us were there in the lights out session, and just seeing how beautiful everything looked lit up, I was like, we gotta add something. And so we were just playing with it and just kind of like strung it between buildings, found some little like studs to like wrap around, or like there's a little railing piece that I kind of like wedged the wire in between.
Did you use something like this?
Basically, yeah.
Because I got this last year, and it's on a battery pack, and I was kicking myself for not bringing it with me to the show because
Yeah,
it's so small and portable. And I used it for a different mock for Tricky Bricks a while ago, and I think it turns out that Rob and Joel and I ended up hanging out together a lot at the
right.
show. In fact, that was one thing I hadn't talked about yet, was just meeting people in person at a show and then being able to bond with them over lunch or dinner or just walking around the show together and checking out the mocks together. And I know that you and I had talked a little bit about Harborside when
Right.
when you first showed up, and I was saying, "Hey, I'm moving my ship over here." And then you said, "Maybe I need to do that too." I said, "Yeah. Yeah. Look at pirates over there. They have these massive ships,
Huge.
132 gun ships or something, 132-foot ship with I think 30 guns on it." And I'm like,
Right.
"No, my little ship right next to it." Yeah, the harbor side was much more, I think it was much more inclusive too, because there were
Definitely.
Viking ships there and ferries
Yeah,
and
and that theme
everything.
coordinator was really excited too. He was like, "Oh, awesome, more ships. We were looking a little empty. Come on over," which was
Yeah.
what you want to hear.
Oh, yeah, and that's why, I was surprised when I got the award, because I thought once Microscale was over, I wasn't expecting an award for the ship, and then when they called my name, I was like, "Really? I got an award for the Kaleidoscope?" And that was an interesting evolution because that ship started off as a collab for Bricks LA, and
Okay,
it was for Little Forest Friends. It was mostly lime green. You probably remember this
that's
ship
good. Yeah, yeah.
because I used it for a couple different city mocks that I did. And then when the Everyone is Awesome set came out, and then we had a rainbow challenge, then I just converted the ship into the rainbow ship,
Totally.
and I was just shocked. I was like, I'm an award-winning builder for ships.
Nice.
Yeah, let me catch up on the chat here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my window
Oh, was the Tricky
situation.
Lug meetup? Oh, good question. Good question. Yeah, the Tricky Lug meetup was in they have this main gathering hall where they have where I talked about giving away the prizes and everything. So Tricky Lug was great because they actually put us on the schedule. And there were a couple of random people who showed up later, not knowing what it was. But it was mostly a meet and greet. People would introduce themselves around the room, and then Thunderman showed up,
Right.
which was hilarious. And there's a really good photo if you go to Yano's Instagram page. Then, in fact, let me put that in the chat too. So Instagram.com, Femme from the Block. And if you check out her page, there's a really awesome photo, which I snagged and reposted, by the way.
Right.
And I gave you attribution. And it was her posing with Thunderman, which is hilarious. And you
So
both
so
showing your
exciting to
guns.
meet in person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it was funny when I first met Moto, I've like put my arms out like to hug him. And he said, "No, first we shake hands and then we hug." I'm like, "Okay." I didn't realize there was a process. So, but with Moto, the way he thinks, everything's a process, right?
Right,
I
totally.
don't know if you had the same experience, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I just thought it was sweet, with hugs in general at the con. Was
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
very, like, "What's your comfort level?" And I had
Mhm.
the funniest interaction meeting Boone in person for the first time,
Oh.
because I was masked and he was not, and
Mhm.
he was like, "Oh, I thought I have my mask. I would love to say hi to you, but I don't. I want to respect your." I was like, "I'll
Yes,
say a hug. It's okay."
he's so sweet. Oh my god, he is such a nice guy.
It was really
And he
cute.
even said later, he goes, "I'm so sorry we didn't get a chance to hang out more. It's just it was such a busy con.
I
It's
know, he
no
said that to
problem."
me too. It's like, "Dude, yeah, you had things to do." It's very sweet.
You're gonna have to take over for a little bit.
Sure, sure. Yeah, so just more about the meetup. Yeah, it was just all of us in a room. I don't know how many, maybe like 40, 50 people. Um, and there were, yeah, a handful of new faces, and then of course a bunch of the regulars, and yeah, just really sweet. Yeah, most of our time was taken up by just going around and introducing ourselves, saying what mocks we had brought, what we had contributed to the friends, and then just kind of free hangout time. And that was, I was saying, it's kind of overwhelming for me to be in the convention hall and around so many people. So that was a great environment where like I could turn to anyone and like basically know who they are, and have, I mean, obviously we all have Lego in common at the whole convention, but
Right.
it's great to like have that instant connection and context to strike up a conversation with people.
Mm-hmm. And you were saying right before I had my little coughing fit that I was really busy. And I think next time, and this goes back to what I was talking about earlier before you joined, is that I think I will focus my attention on specific things.
Hmm.
Taking 14 mocks was kind of like, I haven't been to a con in 2 years. I got to bring as much as I can.
Right, sure.
And I realized if I had spent more time in, say, the Tricky Leg collab, I
Right,
could have talked more about how the collab was important.
right.
I did have fun though in Jurassic Park. That
I
was so
bet.
much fun. Yeah, that was the first year
Mhm.
I participated, and I know that for some, they looked at it and it was just 14 builders coming together is pretty freaking fun, and we all just brought what we had. And James Ritzman talks about it like being a potluck, that they all knew not everybody's supposed to bring chips, right?
Right,
Everybody
right.
brings something to the table.
Cute.
Yeah, which was fun. So in reflection of, what mocks did you bring, and would you have done something differently for yourself?
Yeah. I mean, when I registered my mocks, I was still looking for work and moving, so I wasn't even positive I was going to be there in person. So I didn't
Mhm.
really get a chance. Like, I was really hoping to get my Pirate Island up to speed,
Yeah.
but at the same time, seeing the level that people had in that pirate
Oh,
section,
yeah.
I'm glad that I know that going in. But yeah,
It
so I
was
just had a
it
bunch
was
of little
another
stuff
level.
all over, which I
Yeah.
think it was hard to see for a lot of people. Like it's there's so much there. It's really easy to get lost in the mix. So I think my hope is that next year I can have my Pirate Island show ready, and I
That would
think
be great.
the builders that looked like they were having the most fun to me were, because there's like the stanchion and then a little aisle and then the table, and
Mhm.
the builders that were standing like between the stanchion and the table interacting with kids especially,
Mhm.
and getting to like explain and show things, that looked like a lot of fun to me. And I think for me,
Yeah.
especially having worked with children a lot in my career, like getting to inspire future builders, I think that that's definitely something I would be interested in, is having something like the island all set up and being able to show people and open things for people. And
Oh, yeah. Well, your island too has so many fun things, the market and other,
right.
the haberdashery, right? You have a hat shop on the
I don't.
island?
Yeah, I had that was that build predated the island. It got disassembled.
Oh, okay.
Definitely, yeah, it definitely needs a hat shop.
I think it does. And look who's here. A hooded one's here. Hi, hooded one. Good to
See
see
you
you.
later, Brickaroo Bonsai, heading out.
Yeah, take care, Brickaroo Bonsai. Having dinner. Aloha. And yeah, I think if you get a chance to go to Bricks Cascade in the future, Brickaroo, definitely try to do that. So yeah, so like I said, in my reflection of the convention, number one are the people. Being able to see all these people in person
Definitely.
for the first time or for a long time, I think that was probably one of the best things. Number two is for me, I'm going to have to go back and rethink my mocks, which ones should go and which ones probably should stay for another convention.
Right. Sure.
Be much more strategic about it.
Yeah.
And I guess my third point would be just have fun. I mean, if you're not having fun in a certain area, just leave that area and go to another place where you are going to have fun, because
Absolutely. Yeah.
you can get very intimidated by a lot of these big builds, but bring something. That's another, I guess, piece of advice is that I have another friend who's going to his first con at Brick World, and I said, you gotta bring a mock. Just bring anything, a small thing. It doesn't have to be big, because then you're a builder and you've shown your work at a show, and you can interact behind the scenes, instead of, you were talking about where you are in the stanchions. Instead of being outside the stanchions, you're inside the stanchions. So definitely that would be my other tip.
Yeah, and I met someone actually at the Lego store that both of us like ducked out of the convention to run to the Lego store. And he was saying he wasn't exhibiting anything, but he did pay for the exhibitor badge so that he could hang out during setup.
Oh, nice.
I think was smart. So even if you're not exhibiting, you can still get as if you are. I mean, obviously it's a higher price tag, so if you can afford it, that's still a good way to interact with people.
And you brought up another good point, is that if you're on a budget, here's another tip. There is Friends and Family Night Friday night. And I know a couple of people who drove down from Seattle Friday, and they hung out in the lobby of the convention center because that's public. And they would catch people as they were coming out of the convention to go to a meeting room. And the person I'm referring to is, excuse me, Doc Sampson. He got all these interviews with these amazing people. And he says, I'm sorry, I'm not here for the convention, but I wanted to catch these people while they were here. So he would set up his camera in the lobby. And then as people were walking to the breakout rooms, he would catch them there. And then he showed up for Friends and Family, because you're allowed to bring family and friends for free and walk around to see all the models. So that's another tip. If you are on a budget, then just show up for Friends and Family Day. You know somebody at the convention, and then they can get you in to see the models. And it's also not very well attended because it's before opening day to the public. Yep. So Doc's vids are fun to watch. Yes, they are. Definitely. Well, this is great. Thank you so much, Yano, for helping me out here. I had reached out to a couple people because I said, I don't know if I can do this alone today because I'm not feeling 100%.
Sure.
And thankfully it's not COVID, but still it's kind of like, and being a performer, that, you kind of feel an obligation to at least do something. And really, really appreciate you hanging out with me and saving me there a couple times too. Like, could you please continue the conversation? Trust me, folks, you did not want to see me blowing my nose on camera. I saved you a big one there. I think Yano got to see it behind the scenes, but trust me, you didn't want to see this on the air, and I don't want to see it later either. But did you have any last comments about what you experienced at BricksCascade?
I will say, it did feel a little bit hard for me being my first con, where like BricksCascade in particular, that this is a con that's been going on 10 years. So I think like there were moments where I felt a little left out of like, oh, these people clearly have a clique. And I think just another thing that I am like reminding myself of for future cons and for next year is to like more explicitly ask like, hey, do you want to hang out after this? Or like, do you want to get some lunch? Or even just inviting people over to my house. Like, I wish that there was that more people were able to stick around Portland like for a couple days after or before.
That would have been nice.
That's one of the challenges of like, there's all these people that you are maybe meeting in person for the first time, but they're just so much stimulus that it's like very much just like ships passing in the night. And so I would love in the future to find ways to like have more like one-on-one or like small groups meeting up.
Yeah, I agree.
Floor.
I was lucky because there were several times where I would run into people and it was like, are you doing anything for lunch? I go, no, okay. Oh, okay, let's go.
Right.
And that happened with Dr. Cat. So
Hmm.
Dr. Cat Builds and I had a late lunch because this was like 2:30, I think, on Saturday or Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And then we got a nice chance to get to know each other that way. Rob Ketcherside and Joel, we ran
Right.
into each other multiple times.
Right.
And so we had, I think, lunch one day with Deneen McDermott and her sister
Oh,
Dawn.
sweet, sweet.
And that was funny because it was like we just ran into each other in the hallway.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, we're going to Chipotle. Like, you want
Right.
to come with us? And then
Yeah,
yeah,
you
we
kind of
all
have
went
to be
together.
in the right place at the right time. So I think,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
just
I think you're
reminding
right.
yourself to like, be more explicit in
Yeah, if we had been more intentional and said, okay, Friday, we're gonna go to lunch
right,
together,
right,
and then right before family and friends, let's make sure we get something to eat and let's do that.
totally,
And if like you said, if people are gonna hang around for a couple days afterwards, then we could take a tour of the city or do
totally,
some of that.
yeah.
But I had my dog with me, so that was a
Oh,
little bit of a complication, and I've only had my dog since October, so I'm still getting to know her, and she's still getting to know me,
yeah,
but I'm glad I did it this way because I haven't left her overnight yet any place at a boarding place facility,
hmm
and she was so happy to see me every night when I picked her up.
yeah.
At the end of the convention, I'd go to my friend Marianne's and I'd pick her up, and my dog was like, she's jumping into the car, like, "Get me out of here. I wanna go
Oh,
home. I wanna go back with you." Yeah. So, like, catch up on the chat. It was great hanging out. Off to cook dinner. Okay, take care. Toodles. See ya. And oh, and of course, Lena's back. Hello. We're just getting ready to wrap up. So, and oh, that top is cute, Yano. Nice red.
thank you.
Okay. All right, my friends. This is probably good because I probably need to rest before my 9 o'clock stream on Twitch. So if anybody is up for that to hang out with me, what I probably will do, and I'm thinking, did you start on the con kit yet? Have you done this
No,
yet?
I haven't.
Yeah, I'm thinking about building this tonight on
Where
Twitch.
are the instructions for it?
You have to download them. So if
Okay,
you go to the BricksCascade main website, yeah, and that's the one thing that they do every year is they don't print the instructions, is they
right,
always
right.
have you download them. That's one of the few
That's fair.
conventions where they don't do that.
That-
Otherwise, you just have a nice bag of parts, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to build that on stream tonight at 9 o'clock on Twitch. And as I mentioned earlier, next week on 1 o'clock or thereabouts, I have to confirm, Brighton Bricks will be here. And we're going to kick off the next Rebrick This challenge for the month
Ooh,
of
cool.
April. And also, Yano and I have to come up with a date. But
Yes.
Yano and I are going to be talking about the hashtag Polybag Project 2022, which I've already done 2 for January and February,
Mm,
and March is already on the heels, so I probably need to do
good.
that as well. Maybe I'll do that tonight as well before March rolls over, or maybe we'll find a date before
Yeah,
March.
we'll check in after this.
Yeah. And then April, I will have Jesse's Brick Galaxy, Troy from Agents of Mock, and Mel from Iceberg Bricks. They're going
Awesome.
to be here talking about their Spider-Man collab, which was freaking
Cool.
amazing. So I
That
can't
was
wait
so
for
fun to
that.
see. Yeah.
So once again, thank you everybody for hanging out. Brickaroo Bonsai, Hooded One, Debo Bricks, Lena Inverse, um, our friend who was on the train. I hope you're okay.
Oh yeah.
Felice, I think. Yeah. And anybody else who's just tuned in, if you're watching the recording, feel free to like and subscribe. Also, follow Yano as well on Femme from the Block on Instagram. And we'll be having another episode sometime soon where we'll talk about the hashtag Polybag Brick Project. So thanks again, everybody. And oh, now that I'm back in Seattle, I can also have you, if you want. That's my address in the Brickanista Broadcast Network, P.O. Box 31956, Seattle, Washington, 98103. And so take care, everybody. It's been great hanging out with you. And as they say on the Brickanista Broadcast Network, may the clutch be with you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.